we've got Rick Newman here with us now to talk about stimulus, but also some of those presidential pardons. Hey, Rick. So I want to start with this stimulus. The president tweeting out a video last night where he called the stimulus package a disgrace, lampooned essentially Congress for coming up with a bill that was very, very small, and then asked for $2,000 individual checks instead. Now, here's the thing. I think a lot of folks agree with him. Democrats agree with him. And House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said, great, if the president wants it, let's go for it. Let's try to get that unanimous bill passed tomorrow on Christmas Eve, even though we've got most legislators already left DC. They left the building. They went home to spend time with their families. What do you make of that video? I mean, do you think that the president is going to be vetoing this bill? He said that he's not. The administration said that he's not going to. What do you think is going to happen in the next week?
Well, first of all, I don't think Congress is going to change the bill to raise it from $600 to $2,000 for the simple reason that the way they would have to do this, unanimous consent, literally requires the consent of all members of the House and all members of the Senate. And if it only takes one person to object in each chamber, and you can't do it that way. So there certainly would be more than one person in each chamber who would object. So Nancy Pelosi knows this. This is a publicity stunt on her part, but Trump handed her this sort of publicity win. And frankly, Trump is now siding more with the Democrats than the Republicans on this. So that gets to the question of will Trump actually veto this bill? And he did not say that he would veto the bill. He has threatened to veto other bills. So we know that he would do that if that was his plan. And he did not veto the bill. Now this bill, there's still ways this bill could die based on whether Trump signs it or not, and the actual timing of that, because Congress is adjourning for the session. But in the kind of worst case scenario, let's say this bill does not get passed under Trump, he does not sign it, it does not become law. Then the most likely thing that would happen is when Congress comes back, they pass the bill again, and Joe Biden becomes president on January 20th, and he signs the bill. So this bill is going to happen one way or another. I do not think it's going to happen with a $2,000 check. I think it's going to be a $600 check. So if Congress wants to do more, they're going to have to do it in another bill in the Biden administration in 2021.
Well, let's talk about a Christmas gift that the president decided to hand out to a special group of folks in the form of pardons, and including some folks that had been convicted as a part of that special investigation from Robert Mueller. What do you think this is like one of many, many waves that we're going to be seeing over the course of less than a month now? The president just really handing these things out like Skittles?
Yeah, probably. And these are going to go to loyalists and also to people who might be able to do Trump favors in the future. So you mentioned a couple people who got tangled up in the Mueller investigation. One of those was George Papadopoulos, kind of a mid-range worker on the Trump campaign in 2016. He lied to the FBI as part of that investigation, went to jail for a few days. There was another lawyer who spent some time in jail. They both got pardons. Then there were three former members of Congress who were either pled guilty or were convicted of crime. So these are convicted felons, basically. Duncan Hunter, there you see him, Duncan Hunter and Chris Collins. Chris Collins pled guilty to insider trading. Clearly, he was guilty there. Duncan Hunter blatantly abused campaign contributions, used it to take a vacation to Italy with his wife and play golf. I mean, it was just absurd what he did with that donor money. Anyway, they were both Trump loyalists from the very beginning, so Trump pardoned them. And for sure, we're going to see more of these. Usually, this is the kind of, when you have these unsavory pardons, they're going to come late on a Friday night or over a holiday when the fewest number of people are paying attention. That's not what happened here. So we could get more Christmas Eve pardons, New Year's Eve pardons. And then, of course, the biggest question, will Trump try to pardon himself or do something to get himself off the hook, along with family members and cronies such as Rudy Giuliani? We're going to see a lot of discomfiting activity in this regard in January, I'm afraid.
That would truly be a Christmas surprise there if we got a little notification or alert on our phones that Rudy Giuliani and the president's children and maybe even himself have received some sort of presidential
I'm
pardon. All
watching.
right.
I'm watching for it,
I'm
Kristen.
going to be watching too. Don't worry. I have my phone glued to me at all times. I'm
Every
looking
single
forward
time
to
the phone lights up, you wonder.
it. All right. Thanks so much, Rick.
See ya.